Have you ever had that moment where you're just sitting down, maybe after a long day, and you suddenly think to yourself, is this it? Is this what life is all about? Waking up, going to work, paying bills, doing chores, scrolling through your phone, and then doing it all over again the next day. It's like we're on this treadmill that never stops. You hustle all day only to crash at night, and then boom, it's Monday again. And the crazy part is, deep down, something inside you keeps whispering, there's more to life than this. And you're right, because you were made for more. This video isn't one of those just be positive talks. Nah, we're going deep. We're going to talk about what that more actually looks like, why you feel that nudge inside you, what it really means, and how to step into it. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. We're talking real stuff, raw stuff. Because if you don't wake up to this, you might live the next 20, 30 years just surviving, not living, and that's not the life you were designed for. So if you're interested in learning how to unlock your full potential, step into that more you feel inside, and start living a life of purpose, then you are in the right place. Welcome to Flourish in Wealth, where financial freedom begins. First off, let's talk about that feeling. You know the one, the quiet frustration, the boredom with your routine. That gut feeling that you're capable of more than just making ends meet. That feeling isn't random, that's purpose knocking. That's your inner man reminding you that you've got ideas, gifts, dreams, talents, and they're not being used to their full potential. That tug you feel inside you, that's not your imagination. That's the real you trying to come up for air. And the crazy thing is, we've gotten so used to ignoring it. We drown it with distractions. Social media, Netflix, food, work, whatever numbs the feeling that something's missing. You're out here living a version of life that doesn't match who you really are on the inside. And the deeper you bury your real self, your real interests, your gifts, your voice, the louder that restlessness gets. Some of you are doing jobs you were never meant to do. You're stuck in careers that pay the bills but drain your soul. You've built your life around what's safe or what looks good on paper. But deep down, you feel hollow. On the outside, everything might look fine. You've got the degree, the job, maybe even the house, the car, the routine. But inside, you're dying a slow, quiet death. Why? Because you've silenced your instincts. You've ignored your passions. You've muted your creativity. You've pushed aside that thing inside you that says, this isn't it, there's more. And society will applaud you for it, for being responsible, for being realistic, for not rocking the boat. But guys, real doesn't mean settling. Responsible doesn't mean miserable. Being an adult doesn't mean killing your dreams and calling it wisdom. Somewhere along the line, you traded alignment for acceptance. You traded what sets your soul on fire for what's easy to explain at family gatherings. And that trade, that's what's making you restless. Because deep down, you know this isn't the life you were made for. You were made to create, to move, to speak, to build something that actually matters to you. And when you don't do that, when you're not living in your lane, using your voice, showing up fully, you feel it. That's why you can't sleep right. That's why you feel stuck even when everything seems stable. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you felt excited to wake up in the morning? When's the last time you worked on something that made time fly by? When's the last time you felt proud of what you were building? Not just grateful you still have a job. If it's been a while, you're misaligned, bro, and that's not something to feel guilty about. It's something to pay attention to. This isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that your spirit is still alive. That part of you that refuses to settle is still in there, kicking and screaming and trying to get your attention. Don't ignore it. That restlessness, it's not the enemy. It's a compass. And the longer you ignore that compass, the further off track you get. But the moment you lean in, the moment you say, all right, what am I really here for? That's when things start to shift. Your soul is not wrong for wanting more. You're not crazy. You're not behind. You're just out of alignment. And the beautiful thing about alignment, you can shift it, you can course correct, you can say, you know what, I want my life to actually fit me again. That's where the fire starts to come back. That's when peace replaces pressure. That's when you stop surviving and actually start living. My next point is this. You weren't created to live small. And I'm not talking about owning mansions or private jets. I'm talking about impact, growth, fulfillment, purpose. So many people settle, not because they don't want more, but because somewhere along the line someone told them that dreaming big was unrealistic. Maybe it was your parents. Maybe it was society. Maybe life just hit too hard and you stopped believing. But let me say this. Living small doesn't protect you from pain. It just guarantees regret. You've got potential sitting on the shelf collecting dust. And the truth is, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. You've got something in you that someone else in this world desperately needs. If you're vibing to what I'm saying, please head to the comments section below and type "made for more." I'll be looking out for your comments. And if you're finding value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps the algorithm and it really supports the channel so I can keep bringing you more content like this. Let's get back to it. Next, the world needs what you carry, your voice, your story, your ideas, your angle. You ever sit back and think, why even bother? Like, what difference will it make if I actually step out and do the thing that's been tugging at me? Who's even going to notice? Let me tell you something that might just shift your whole mindset. The world needs what you carry. Not what your neighbor carries, not what your favorite influencer has, what you carry. That unique mix of ideas, experience, pain, talent, insight, and perspective, that's not random, that's intentional. That was put in you for a reason. But here's the problem. We live in a world where people are constantly comparing. You scroll on social media and think, man, they already said it, they already did it, they already built it, there's no room for me. Now, let me stop you right there. There's only one you. There's only one person who sees life the way you see it, who's walked the road you walked, who feels deeply the way you do. So that book you haven't written yet, that podcast idea you keep burying, that community you've been dreaming about starting, that business, that YouTube channel, that idea you think is too small or not ready yet. Somebody's breakthrough is on the other side of you stepping up. You're not here to just clock in, pay bills and keep quiet. You're here to show up fully and carry something into the world that only you can bring. Imagine if the person who inspired you the most had kept quiet, didn't write that book, didn't start that business, didn't show up online, you wouldn't be the same person today. That's impact that people had no idea you existed, but they put something out there that carried what you needed in that moment. Now reverse that for a second. What if they never did anything? What if they talked themselves out of it? What if they said, it's not good enough or nobody will listen? See what I'm saying? You're sitting on something that someone else is waiting on. Your voice might be the one that helps somebody finally believe again. Your story might be the key to someone else's healing. Your boldness might be the permission someone else needed to take a step. Don't let fear lie to you and say, this doesn't matter. It matters more than you know. Even if just one person is changed by what you carry, it's worth it. And look, I know we don't like to think of ourselves as important or special, but you need to understand this. God doesn't create extras. He doesn't do copy-paste. So that gift, that perspective, that creativity, that heart for people, it's not just for you to sit on, it's for you to release. It's for you to build with, to serve with, to reach with. You have no idea how much darkness could be pushed back in someone's life just because you chose to show up. But if you don't believe you matter, you'll keep shrinking. You'll keep talking yourself out of things. You'll keep hiding behind excuses and waiting for perfect timing. But guys, impact doesn't wait on perfection. It responds to obedience. It moves through courage. And even if your voice shakes, even if you're scared, even if you don't have it all figured out, step out anyway. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. The world needs you, fully you, bold you, honest you. The world needs what you carry. Moving on, you were made to create. Not just born, not just existing, not just passing through life doing what everyone else is doing. You were wired to create. Let that sink in for a second. We live in a world that teaches us to consume, scroll this, watch that, buy this, repeat. But deep down, there's something in you that wants to build, to bring something new into the world. That's not random, that's by design. You weren't made to just clock in, clock out, and repeat. You weren't made to just follow routines and obey instructions. You were created in the image of the ultimate creator. And that means something. It means you've got the blueprint of creativity inside you, whether you're artistic or not. Creating isn't just painting or music, it's problem solving, it's building businesses, it's raising a family with intention, it's writing, designing, organizing, inventing, teaching, leading. It's whatever flows from you that makes the world richer, better, clearer, more meaningful. That frustration you feel sometimes, that boredom, that restlessness. It's not just stress. It's your creative spirit starving because you haven't been building what's in you. When you're not creating, you're only consuming. And over time, consuming without creating leads to emotional constipation. Yeah, I said it. You're full of ideas, thoughts, passions, but nothing's coming out. No outlet, no flow. That's why some of you feel stuck. It's not because you're lazy. It's because you were wired to create, but you've been stuck in a system that only values repetition and routine. You want to feel more alive? Start making something. Start shaping something that didn't exist before you touched it. Write the blog, start the podcast, bake the cake, draw the plan, create the course, build the brand, launch the thing, just create something. When you do that, something lights up inside of you. You feel connected, you feel purposeful, you feel human again. So here's my challenge for you right now. Get back to creating, and I don't mean wait till next month when your schedule clears up or till someone gives you permission. I mean now. Pick something, anything, and start. Start messy, start small, but start. Because guys, you were wired to create. And when you do, life starts to feel like it's flowing again. That's not coincidence, that's alignment. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. You know what I'm talking about. I'll start the business when I have more money. I'll write the book when I have more time. I'll launch the idea when I feel more confident. I'll step out when everything aligns. Let me tell you something. Perfect conditions are a myth. They don't exist. They never have. And if you keep waiting on everything to be just right before you move, you'll never move. Period. I want you to think back on anything in your life that mattered. Your biggest growth moments, your biggest shifts. Did they happen when everything was perfect? Of course not. They happened in the mess, in the chaos, in the uncertainty. Growth happens in motion, not in waiting. Life doesn't pause for your convenience. Opportunities don't come gift-wrapped with perfect timing. Sometimes you've got to move with what you have, even if it's just a small step, because clarity doesn't always come before action. It often comes from action. You've got to start building the plane while flying it, not when the weather's good, not when you feel brave, but right now with shaky hands and a burning heart. Listen, guys, perfectionism will lie to you. It'll make you believe that if you just wait a little longer and prep a little more, research a little deeper, then suddenly it'll all feel right. But guess what? That right time never shows up. There's always going to be something off, always something not enough, always something unfinished. And while you're sitting on your dream waiting for the stars to align, somebody out there is doing less with more courage and getting results. Why? Because they moved. They didn't wait for perfection. They just got started. You know how many people die with books still in their head, with songs never sung, businesses never started, ideas never built? Not because they weren't talented, not because they weren't called, but because they waited too long for a perfect moment that never came. And let's be real, sometimes I'm waiting on the right time is just fear in disguise. You're not waiting, you're avoiding, you're trying to stay safe. But let me remind you, you can't make an impact if you never show up. You can tweak as you go, you can grow as you build, but you can't steer a parked car. Guys, progress beats perfection every single time. Done is better than ideal, and consistent steps, no matter how small, will take you further than waiting ever will. Stop obsessing over the timing. Start using what you've got in your hands. Do what you can now, even if it's not flashy, even if it's not viral worthy, even if nobody claps. You don't need the perfect lighting to show up. You just need the guts to say, let's go. Because trust me, when you move, things start aligning, doors open, energy flows, momentum builds. But that only happens after you start. So stop waiting for perfect. It's not coming, but you can start anyway. So let me leave you with this. Don't let life happen to you. Don't go 10, 20 years doing what you think you have to do and then wonder what it was all for. You were made to do more than just exist. You were made to live, to create, to impact, to grow, to shine. And that starts with you saying, enough is enough. No more shrinking, no more settling, no more sleepwalking through life. You've got what it takes. You just need to believe it and act on it. If this hit home for you, don't just nod your head and move on. Pause, reflect. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can start doing differently today? Because the life you were made for, it's not waiting somewhere out there. It starts the moment you decide to stop playing small. If you got value from this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. And make sure to check out my other video here for more money tips. You won't want to miss it.